This is Amplify Daily number 61. This is a BTRC episode, Behind the Red Curtain. Going to give y'all a day in the life. I'm going to do these BTRC episodes every once in a while to give y'all more of a comprehensive view of the projects I'm working on, the people, the systems that processes and systems that I'm using to manage those people, and just give you a more comprehensive view. So it's a good day today because I've actually got a number of things that are going on that'll give y'all a really good view of the depth and breadth of what I'm doing. Later on this morning and all day today, I've got a 10-hour intensive that I am coordinating for a partner launch program that I am working on with Whitney Bonds. It's called YouTube Cash Course. And we are doing a live launch, a live course recording event where the folks that are in the room, they're going to get great value and they're going to get to ask Whitney a ton of questions. But the purpose of this event is actually to record her course in real time, but do it in front of a live audience. They've paid to be there. So in essence, we are getting an opportunity to pre-sale that course and to get the recording event paid for. The photographer, the videographer, the event space, everything. What else do I need to share with y'all? I think that's a good start. We got a lot of stuff that I'm going to cover really quick. This will be a good Amplify Daily for y'all today. Okay, let's get going. All right, so let me jump right into the first thing that I was doing toward the end of the evening. This is the event tomorrow. As y'all can see, we are. Let me refresh this and see where we're at for this one. Yeah, we're about 4 hours, 15 minutes out from the event. Starts at 9:30. This is not a stock image. This is the actual event venue. Really nice spot, very intimate. We'll have right around 7, 8 people in the room, and venue location. It is near West in Chicago. So we'll add the Zoom information for the event right around an hour beforehand. I always do that when it's a live stream. There's something for attendees about like checking back, and then you see it pop up like, oh, I'm excited now. So I usually do this when I have an event, a Zoom event. I'll add the information about an hour out. And what else? So this event is both in person and being live streamed. So basically, Whitney's going to be in the front of the room and just be presenting directly into her Zoom screen. It'll be run just like she wasn't in the room, except she will be. And then when it's time for Q&A, then she'll address the audience. What else? This page that you're looking at, this is what we call a access list page. So basically, we do pages like this for every single one of our events, whether live or online. And this is where we store all of the event information so that we never just, send people direct information, because what if something changes? What if we need to make a last minute update? We want to train people for that event to go to a particular link. And if it's a link, then it's dynamic and we can update this event information at any given time. Even if we need to change the event page, we can, update the information and say, hey, new stuff is located here, and put the link there. So this is what we're going to cover in real time. Whitney's going to cover the information in these modules. And basically, the my focal point, we're not going to make it through every single thing that needs to be in the course today. Even though it's 10 hours, it takes a lot to record a course. It's a lot of detail. But what we will do is we're gonna make sure that she records all of the shell of the course, so that the visuals for the blueprint, the structure of it, remain consistent throughout. So I'm gonna have her do an overview and a recap for every single one of these modules. That'll be like the first thing that we record on site, and we'll also do a lot of fireside chat stuff. So she's gonna do the modules and the lessons. She'll do a quick run through of that stuff. But when she does each one, either right afterward or at the end, it'll probably be right after. We'll probably transition back and forth, so the stuff is hot in my mind. I'll have her transition out of the presentation seat and into a different setup that we'll have off to the side, which is more fireside chat. and it'll be conversational. So I'll queue up questions to have her cover the same stuff that she just covered in each module and in each lesson, but in conversational style. That will allow us to get that stuff on camera in a different format. And we'll chop all of that up and use it as short form content on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts, and on Facebook to allow us to promote the course in a very natural conversational way. We have both of the pre-event trainings that we did over the last 2 weeks right here on the event page, so that as folks are preparing for the event, they can go back, get ready, because we want them to come into the event already having their YouTube channel set up, already having chosen their niche and done some research. This makes the event go smoother, but also it has them already immersed in doing work before we get there, which has them be a little bit more present. They're not just there watching TV, watching Whitney on screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're actually there, engaged, and they're familiar with the work because they've already started working. A little bit of background here. Even after you've sold a ticket, you're still selling the event. You still want people to come in and be excited about why they're there. So all the stuff that was there while they were actually getting registered, we still have this stuff here. Even on the access page, we want them to still be excited about all the possibility, to not forget about all this great money that Whitney's making and what they're getting ready to learn how to do as well. All right, so here are the presentation slides. What I've been doing is going through these presentation slides, just making sure that I'm like the conductor. I'm the producer of the event. So I'm making sure that the basics are here. We always want to start with story before you get into the details, because they need to hear from Whitney, like, why she's the person. They need to hear from Whitney how much she cares about all this stuff. They need to hear from Whitney why she cares about all this stuff, and that she's really here for them. And, they need to see her family, all that. Everything is rooted in story at all times. If there's nothing else you take from me, make sure that you always take that. Everything always starts with story. Before we even do this, I will stand up and set the context for the event, let them know that they're at what I call a sandbox event. And that's why they got such a great value. It's the first time we're recording this. And so if they find some I's not dotted and some T's not crossed, roll with it. That's why you got this amazing price. And you also got this amazing price because you are literally getting to watch the course be recorded in real time. So some parts of the day, they're going to be a fly on the wall. The majority of the day, they'll get to tune in, ask questions, but we lay out that context right up front and have everybody, because it's an intimate room, everybody's going to introduce themselves. Why are you here? Tell us a little bit about yourself. You want to do that in the beginning to create a little bit of camaraderie in the room. Everybody's in it together. So my job as facilitator of this event, I'm going to make sure everybody feels like a big family and that we're going through this thing together. And I'm going to allow Whitney to just be the talent. She's not going to have to do anything except for do her thing up front. And I'll make sure that there's nothing that's being forgotten. I'll make sure that we're leaning in on the points that we need to lean in on. And I'll also ask a million questions. I'll stop her. Like, my job is to pull all of this expertise that's unconscious to her out of her head. And so we've gotten a lot of this documented before the event. But what I'll also do, you're never going to get it all out because there's just too much. So what I'll do as she goes through and gives her presentation, at the end of each section, I'm going to have a million questions, and I'm going to make sure that all of my questions fill in all of the gray space in a way where if somebody knew nothing about this topic, they would be able to watch this course and understand fully what's going on. So I'm the architect of making sure that all of those details get pulled out. And like I said, this is a comprehensive presentation. We'll make it through all the slides, but there still is going to be, information that just we're not able to pull out that we're going to notice in real time while we're there. That's why this is a membership, because people are going to get everything they need to get started and much more than that. But also during the membership, over the course of the next couple months, they'll be able to tap in with Whitney during inside the Facebook group, get more questions answered real time. So this is all of the stuff that we are working on. All right, so let me stop the share on this one real quick. All right, and let's go to our next. Okay, so I generally do a run a show anytime that I'm doing an event. Um, this one, I may not get a chance to get this as detailed as I normally would beforehand because I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm managing. But in general, 9 times out of 10, we always have run a show. But I did want to make sure I showed y'all that in terms of the event production. So I always have a shot list for an event too. There's normally a photographer shot list, a videographer shot list, and in this case, we're using a 3 camera setup. The videographer, the event starts at 9:30. I will be there by probably around 8. Videographer will be there somewhere around 8:20, 8:30. We have the access to get into the event as early as 8:30. I'm gonna be there a little bit earlier than that, hoping that I'll be able to get a little bit of early access. But worst case scenario, 8:30. We'll have a 3 camera setup. One of those cameras will be handheld, and the guy will be moving around the room, catching candid shots of audience interaction, of you know close-ups on a computer screen, of B-roll outside of the event, in the event, lots and lots and lots of B-roll. And the third camera the second camera is going to be facing the audience. Third camera will be stationary, and that's going to be trained on Whitney, front facing, half torso view at all times. So we'll be able to cycle between those 3 shots to have a really, really nice looking course setup. I don't care about a perfect, multi-camera setup. We could do this just fine with 1 camera, just the webcam on Whitney. But since we're going to be doing it live, we're going to go ahead and grab 3 cameras. I normally like to give them a example of the kind of look and feel that I want, because you can have different frame rates on your video. Example of the B-roll, and I have, this is my standard shot list. So if there's a DJ, like we don't have a DJ on this one, but if there's a DJ, shots of the actual food setup, so they can see that this is a comprehensive event. We are going to be catering breakfast and lunch for the people who are there. And when we go on breaks and mixers, shots of people taking a quick bite of food or a sip of their drink to get that feel of people interacting. You want people smiling. And then I give them specific directions. We love shots where the camera pans from left to right or pans from right to left, emerging from behind a pillar or something that's blocking the view, going from blurred into focus. You got to be specific with videographers, because even if they have the skill set, for whatever reason, people just need to be told what to do 9 times out of 10. So if you want to have shots like you see in those professional videos, shots of small elements on a table, like a glass or a pen or a name tag or an agenda, with everything else around the blur, you got to tell them. So this is what it looks like. And I've also got, while we're here, we're going to get some point of view shots of me behind the scenes, working on my camera, conducting the process. So this is the run a show. And of course, with the interviews, we want to make sure that we tell the videographer, we plan on having interviews with the attendees. And here's the style and logistics, where we want the interviewee to look. So everybody is having the same context, what we want them to say, etc. So that is the run of show and the structure for how I'm managing that event. All right. Now, what I also needed to do a little bit earlier this evening, there is a clothing brand that I'm partnering with out of New Orleans. I mentioned them to you before, called World Envision. They've got they're a $16 million clothing brand run by 2 extremely intelligent young guys out of New Orleans. Great guys to work with, very heart-centered, community-centered, but also brilliant young businessmen. And they've got an online education brand they launched a year ago called Activate Your VSN. And what I've done is I've built out, structures around all the different funnels and systems to automate what they were doing, and built out an application process and all the milestones that people need to be focused on. So this is some pages I needed to review for the different applications. They have 3 flagship programs we introduced: Activate Your Vision University, the Mastermind program, and Activate Your Vision Inner Circle. When I first started working with them, they were ready to phase out the first version of the Inner Circle program, which was at $3,000, and move it to a higher ticket, which we did. This is now a $10,000 1-year mastermind instead of a 3-month, $3,000 program. They only had that program before us. We phased out the other one, introduced this, introduced a mastermind program, which is $2,500, and now that's 3 months, and then introduced a lower ticket university, which is more like an accelerator. That's meant to, it can be, people can stay in it quarterly as long as they want to, but it's really designed to help people level up and out inside of 60 days. And if they've done what they're supposed to, they're ready for the mastermind now. And this program is $247 per quarter or $797 per year. And each one of them, we go into detail about what those programs offer. I needed to update this language to get a little bit more specific. So I actually did all the copywriting here to define these different pieces that are included. And inside of the application process, we added a lot of new logic to make sure that this application is something that really segments them very, very well. All right, so let's keep going here. Next, current milestone stage. So this is the first question that segments them. We find out which of the 5 core milestones they're in. And what we see here is, based on your answers, seems you haven't yet reached at least milestone 3, Activate Your Vision. That is required to apply for the mastermind. So we've updated this application so that now, if you are applying for the wrong stage, like, you can't even get through the application. So mastermind, you need to be at milestone 3 or above. You need to at least have made $2,500, but you haven't yet hit your first $10,000 a month. You're appropriate for the mastermind. All right, so we keep it moving. And now, current revenue, we're going to find out. Let them know that generally we recommend the mastermind for brand founders in milestone 3 or milestone 4. So we're anchoring that expectation. This is a 12-week program tailored for brand owners ready to scale their first 10 grand in 90 days, their first 6-figure year. You indicated in your previous answer that you were in milestone 3, Activate Your Vision. I've made more than $2,500 a month. Is that accurate? So we're going to make sure. If no, we're going to tell them you need to either update your answer or go back. You're in the wrong spot. If yes, so we give more context. For brand owners in milestone 3, this is appropriate if you want to do this. So we're letting them know this is a very fast-paced thing. If you're not looking to hit those milestones, you shouldn't be here. If you're not ready to go all into your business, commit to following our coaching, and focus on growth at that pace, we recommend that you focus on slower growth in the university and mastering your mindset and fears, along with the basic fundamentals of effective sales. So do you understand? If you don't understand, don't move forward. If you do understand, great. This program is $2,500 for the 90 days. If you submit your application and are ready and able to confirm and complete that financial commitment, are you ready in the next 24 hours if you get accepted? If you say no, do not move. You do not pass go. If yes, then we can keep moving. And a lot of times you'll see people do, stuff that's a version of this. It'll be a tactic. They're just trying to get people to say yes. This is designed to get you to a no. If you're not appropriate, you are not going past go. This is not to get people emotionally invested. This is legitimately to test to make sure that you're appropriate on all levels. Do you have the time? Are you ready to commit 5 to 8 hours to growing your brand? 3 hours per day with a preference of 5 to 8. At this stage, no, then you do not pass go. Yes, you can keep going. Do you have the money? No, do not pass go. Are you ready to be coachable and do it 100% inside of this process? Yes. Where did you start your brand? We're going to find out some revenue numbers, make sure that people are not putting themselves in financial harm's way to be in this program. And that's what the structure looks like. So, and at the end of this, we take them to a page. We let them know that we're reviewing their application, and we actually do review the application. If it doesn't meet any standard, they are not allowed to apply. We're not going to have people putting themselves in harm's way to be in the program. We let them know if they're not approved that that they can go ahead and continue watching the 200 plus free videos that are on the YouTube channel until they're ready. It's no rush. If they do get accepted, they have 24 hours to accept that offer and pay for it. If they don't and try to visit the page later, they will not be able to get back. They get this page that lets them know this offer has expired. You missed your deadline to confirm your spot. Your invitation is closed, and we're not playing. So what can you do? Activate your vision. We're curating a global community of brand founders who are serious and surrounded on all sides by people who bring that same energy and focus. You were accepted. You missed the deadline. As a result, your spot isn't available. You got 30-day waiting period before you're able to apply again for consideration. And so this is what attraction-based marketing and sales looks like. This is what line and sand looks like, where people realize, wait a minute, I can't just buy whenever I want to. No, this is consider and be considered for. You better show up and present yourself appropriately, because we're judging you the same way that you're judging us. And people want to participate in these programs. You need to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. That's what switches the frame and has people say, "Oh, wait a minute, I really do want to be in the program. Can you give me another shot, please?" That's what has people show up the right way. But it can't be a tactic. We can't be a tactic. It's got to be consistent every step of the way in your sales process, or you're going to look like a liar, and you will be. Okay. And so I also needed to update some of the email in our welcome sequence. So this is an updated email that I wrote now that we've been able to update the application process. So now this email is a lot more specific based on your responses. We see you're in milestone blank. Quick reminder. Again, 200 plus free videos. Feel free to go do that if you want to. But if you're here, our mutual understanding is that you have interest in applying for a paid program. Let's not play around, y'all. Let's let people know right up front. We know why you're here. You can feel free to get tons of value in the other resources we make available to you for free. This is for paid. Is that why you're here? If so, great. If not, we're probably going to ask you to leave sometime soon, because we're here in Activate Your Vision specifically for paid programs. You don't have to beat around the bush and play with people. You don't have to pretend like we're not here to sell stuff, because we are. All right, let me move to the next. All right, last thing I'm gonna show y'all is this Slack thread. So another part of the work I was doing is I just hired a new social media manager for Mindset to Money, for my personal brand, and also she's going to be managing the socials for the partner company that I'm working with, Activate Your Vision. And so I laid out for her what I call my brand narrative stream for Mindset to Money, where we're just starting out and laying out like the core areas that I'm focused on, so we keep the conversation on social clear and decisive. So top level, my niche, financial education, the content pillars that I want to focus on: 6 stages of financial development, financial autonomy versus financial freedom, replacing earned income with automated income, throwing away your nest egg, financial planning, and buy replacement income and accelerate your retirement date. So that's high level. And then same thing for my online Luminary brand, which is like TKRS brand, my personal stuff on the course launch, course readiness for experts. This is more detailed over here. So the niche that I'm focusing on is selling expertise online. I had to do some research to really think through like, what's that narrative? But it's selling expertise online, and nuances of the narrative to lean into for my avatar. I am for seasoned experts who are business professionals and business owners. They're already financially comfortable making six figures, multiple six figures or better from their expertise offline. They already have a defined consulting framework or signature talk. They already are known locally, regionally, nationally, or internationally as an expert in their industry or vertical. They already have a defined warm audience of contacts who are hitting them up and bound to hire them for their expertise as a coach, speaker, trainer, consultant. And the things that are aligned with their identity, they are nervous about how they could ever put out a program that doesn't require their time. They're not just looking for money. They're beyond like hustle culture. They want their time. They want more money, but only if they still have their time. And they've also, in terms of identity, they work way too long and hard to create an identity that is known and recognized and respected to put out something that's going to have them look janky. And that is a true concern for people. And these are the other areas where I've like really well defined my customer avatar. Most people don't do nearly the level of design and work on customer avatar that I found that I do, and I do with my clients. And it's also one of the reasons why we get out the gate so fast and do, multiple 5-figure launches, because we know exactly who we're speaking to. And when we talk to them, they can hear it. They're like, oh man, this is for me and exactly me. The content pillars inside of that, for me specifically, turning expertise into passive and automated income online, what I call the expert trap of trading hours for dollars, and why people have such a hard time getting out of it. 5 to 6 figure warm network program launches to your existing audience, my copy paste sell expert framework. And then under expert readiness, where do I start? How do I start? How do I know that I'm ready? Behind the red curtain, like I'm doing with you right now. The reason I don't care about showing, this is the stuff that a lot of people will charge you for. I don't care about showing you all this stuff. Why? Because I'm me. I'm going to write how I write about this stuff. These are my areas of expertise. Nobody's going to write or say what I would. And by the same token, you don't have to worry about people, quote unquote, stealing your stuff, your content. Nobody's going to say what you would say, exactly how you would say it. And even if they tried, they're not going to resonate with who you'd resonate with. I just don't concern myself with those things. When you have deep expertise, show up, do what you're going to do. People are going to work with you and want to recommend you above others because they resonate and you're showing up authentic. And the last piece is we're working together newly. So I took a little moment to train her on how I actually manage my team and my threads. So in my Slack threads, we don't do things like just have one-off statements like you're in a regular conversational thread. We have a thread inside of each channel specifically for the projects or days that we're working. So with my design and development team, for example, well, this is my email team, we actually have a thread where we have threads where we work on like project, where we lay out the projects. So each different project, we create a thread and then we have conversation about that project inside of that thread. And then for my development team, it looks a little bit different. We do our threads by day because they're showing me, every single day we're working on multiple projects. So they just check in every single morning and tell me start of the day, here are the tasks that we have planned, linked to Asana, how much time we expect to spend on those. And at the end of the day, here's what was actually done. Here's what's still in progress. And then the next day, I know exactly what's coming up. All right. So that is what my process